Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will start unit number 2, Sustenance of the Individual 2. Introduction. All living organisms perform some basic functions to stay alive. These are known as life functions or life processes. Some of these basic life processes are nutrition, respiration, growth, response to stimuli, excretion, reproduction, etc. Food as a source of energy. All life processes require energy. Energy is locked in the form of chemical energy in food. To unlock or release these energy, the food must first be converted into smaller and soluble molecules. This happens during the process of nutrition. Next, energy must be set free from these molecules. This happens when the molecules react chemically with oxygen in the body cells during respiration. Thus, nutrition and respiration are the two life processes that provide energy to live organisms to stay alive. We will study these two energies providing processes in detail. So, the first one is nutrition. The living world consists of organisms that show two kinds of nutrition. The first one is autotrophic and the second one is heterotrophic. So the first one is autotrophic nutrition. Green leaves and young stems of plants contains numerous green substances called chloroplasts in their cells. The chloroplasts are green because of the presence of green pigment called chlorophyll. Yes, green color is due to the presence of chlorophyll in the plants. It is chlorophyll that traps energy from sunlight. So with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll present in the green leaves, they make the food. Plants also need water and minerals to prepare food. Roots of plants contain root hairs at its tips. Root hairs absorb the water and minerals from the soil. Water is available in the soil abundantly, even in dry soil. It is found in the sand particles in the form of hygroscopic layer. Now, minerals are found in the form of thin solution in soil. Hence, root hairs can easily absorb them. Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are the three important animals that plants require for their growth. So these are introduced in the soil in the form of fertilizer such as NPK. Now what are NPK? N is a symbol for nitrogen, P is a symbol for phosphorus and K is a symbol for potassium and urea. These are the minerals which are present in the soil and plants need these minerals for their growth. The water and minerals which are absorbed by the plants are transported to other parts of the plant through the conducting tissues called xylem. So xylem का क्या काम है कि वो पानी और मिनरल्स रूट से लेकर तमाम पार्ट्स ऑफ प्लांट को में ट्रांसफ़र करता है. Using the energy from the sun, a chemical reaction takes place in the green part of the plant. Why in the green part of the plant? Because green part of the plant have a chlorophyll and chlorophyll take the sunlight from the sun, in which carbon dioxide and water are converted into food in the form of glucose. Now check the chemical reaction, how this happens. Carbon dioxide, CO2, which is carbon dioxide, water, H2O. When carbon dioxide and water react together in the presence of sunlight, they form glucose. वो क्या बनाते हैं? Glucose बनाते हैं, जिसका फॉर्मूला हमारे पास क्या है? C6 means कार्बन के 6 atoms, हाइड्रोजन के 12 और ऑक्सीजन के 6. How we read them? C6H12O6. और साथ में क्या बनाते हैं? ऑक्सीजन. प्लांट्स हमारे पास कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इनहेल करते हैं और एक्सेल ऑक्सीजन करते हैं. सही है? In most plants, glucose is converted into starch and stored in leaves, stems, roots, etc. Oxygen is released in the process. The process of manufacturing food in green plants is known as photosynthesis. Thus, green plants prepare their own food by using non-living components of the environment. Now, the non-living components are carbon dioxide, minerals like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. These are non-living, and from that they make the food. This mode of nutrition is known as autotrophic nutrition. Green plants are known as autotrophs because they make their own food. That's why we say them these are autotrophs. The food which is synthesized by the green leaves is transported to the other parts of the plant by the type of conducting tissues called phloem. Heterotrophic nutrition. Animals and non-green plants such as fungi and bacteria cannot prepare their own food because they not have a chlorophyll which take sunlight from the sun. That's why they can't prepare their own food. They depend directly or indirectly on green plants for their nutrition. This method of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Animals and non-green plants are known as heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are those animals and plants which cannot prepare their own food. Now, heterotrophic nutrition in animals. Herbivorous animals depend directly on plants for their nutrition. Now, who are the herbivorous? Herbivorous are those animals which eat grasses. Carnivorous depends on other animals which in turn depend on plants. Thus, when you eat meat, you are indirectly eating food prepared by plants. How? Look at here. These are autotrophs. Autotrophs are those plants which make their food by own self, and those are the green plants because they have a chlorophyll in it. और क्लोरोफिल और सनलाइट मिल के हमारे पास क्या बनाती है, फूड बनाती है. जो फूड हर्बीवोरस लेते हैं, हर्बीवोरस वो एनिमल्स होते हैं जो सिर्फ और सिर्फ डिपेंड करते हैं ग्रास के ऊपर. ठीक. अब हर्बीवोरस जो होते हैं वो उनका मीट जो है वो ह्यूमन बींग्स खाते हैं. You know that green plants get the energy to prepare food from the sun? Yes. So the green plants take energy from sun. Sun is the ultimate source of energy. Without sun, autotrophs can't prepare their food, and if they can't prepare their food, then we can't eat any herbivorous animal. Thus, the sun is the ultimate source of energy in the entire living world. Now look at this picture. This is the flow of energy. Herbivorous eat the autotrophs or the producers, and herbivorous are eaten by the carnivorous. Carnivorous are those animals which just eat the meat, and those animals which eat meat and grasses, they are known as omnivores, which we are, human beings. Heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Some non-green plants live in or on other living organisms and derive their food from them. For example, dodder is a plant that sucks food from another plant using root-like structures. Such plants are called parasites. Some parasite plants like dodder plants which grow on trees such as mango have green leaves and can synthesize their food, but they take water and minerals from the host plant. They are known as partial parasites. Look at here, this is a picture of dodder plant, and dodder plant are non-green plants. Non-green plants. They can't prepare their own food and they depend on the green plants. From green plants they take the food. Other non-green plants live on dead plants and animals and derive their food from them. Because non-green plants can't prepare their food, so they depend on the other plants like mushrooms, they depend on the dead plants and dead animals for get their food from there. For example, mushrooms and other fungi and bacteria, they are known as spirophytes. They are known as spirophytes. The plant kingdom also has plants that consumes insects. The Venus flytrap and pitcher plant catch insects by ingenious method. Their cells secrete digestive juices to digest these insects. These plants grow in soil that is not so rich and use the nutrition obtained from insects to supplement the food they prepare by photosynthesis. They are known as insectivorous plants. Why they are known as insectivorous plants? Because they depend on the insects. They take the food from the insects. In another mode of nutrition, two different kind of organisms work together for their mutual benefit. For example, algae and fungi. They live on the lichen. How? For example, algae, which is an autotroph. Autotroph means they prepare their own food. And fungus, which is a spirophyte, which can't prepare their own food and they live on the other end. Other plants live together in lichen. The fungus supplies water and minerals to the cell of the algae, while the algae supplies food to the fungus. It means fungi and algae help to each other. Such a mutual beneficial relationship is called symbiosis. The process of nutrition in animals. The various processes involved in nutrition in animals that take in solid food are as follows. The first one is ingestion. Is taking in of food. It involves getting and eating food. Next one is digestion. It is the breakdown of food into a simple soluble form with the help of substance called enzymes in the body. Absorption is the process by which the soluble food passes into the body fluids such as the blood. Assimilation is the process of using the absorbed food for producing energy and for growth. Ejection is the process by which the undigested solid parts of the foods are eliminated. Nutrition in amoeba, hydra, frogs. The unicellular amoeba engulfs thin particle of food by throwing its false feet, known as Pseudopodia. Around it, the Pseudopodia join together to form a small cavity known as food vacuole. The food inside the vacuole is digested by enzymes. It is absorbed and assimilated to provide energy and form new protoplasm. The unicellular paramecium has stiff hull-like structures called cilia all over its body, which are used for injection. The constant movement of the cilia pushes the food particles into its mouth-like structure. The rest of nutrition process are similar to those in amoeba. Look at here, this is the pictures of amoeba. अब अमीबा कैसे अपना फूड ट्रैप करता है? इसके यहाँ पे ये पिसिडोपोडियाज बने हुए होते हैं. जब इसके पास फूड आता है तो वो उन पिसिडोपोडियाज के थ्रू उस फूड को अपने अंदर इनहेल करते हैं. जब वो उसके अंदर चले जाते हैं तो एंजाइम्स के थ्रू वो जो फूड होता है उसे ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं और अपने न्यूट्रिशंस में वो कन्वर्ट कर लेता है. Hydra is a simple multicellular animal which is present in water. It has a number of tentacles around its mouth which are used for injection of food. The tentacles entangle small aquatic animals and kill them with their sting cells. They then push them into the mouth. Inside the body cavity, the enzymes secreted by the surrounding cells help to digest the food. It is absorbed through the cavity walls and is assimilated in the cell. Look at here, this is the hydra and this is the food or aquatic small organism. In hydra have a string cells, thread-like structures on it. From that they suck this food. The frog uses its long sticky tongue to catch insects. Frogs have a well-developed digestive system in which food is digested with the help of enzymes. Now, frog have a sticky tongue through which it sucks the insects. Spider weave a sticky web in which small insects get stuck. The spider then suck up their juices. The mosquito suck up the blood of animals with its proboscis. Now look at here, these are the proboscis from where it sucks the blood from animals and human beings. The housefly also live on liquid food. It uses its saliva to dissolve the food and form a solution. Then it sucks up the solution with the help of its feeding tube, which is its feeding tube, that is also proboscis. Proboscis help them to suck the solution. The butterfly also uses its proboscis to suck the nectar from the flowers. Thanks.